Welcome to DOS Days, a nostalgic look back at PC gaming from the mid-80s to mid-90s. This is a companion piece series to Player One Memories, which covers the arcade scene during this same period. For this series, I'll be jumping back and looking at all those great DOS era and early CD-ROM titles that I played and loved so much, as well as the times and places I experienced them. So let's jump on back to 1990, which saw the release of the excellent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action movie, which I watched in the cinema at the time, and it went on to becoming the highest-grossing independent movie up until that point. With a measly $13 million budget, it raked in over $200 million globally. The musical Fabio himself, Michael Bolton, assaulted our oral senses with the release of How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?, which was no doubt responsible for a spike in global suicide rates at the end of January 1990. And the first McDonald's opened up in Moscow this year, giving the Russians the joy of eating food and 1 hour later feeling like your bowels are about to explode. Welcome to the American dream, comrades. And now let's jump on over to today's game, which is Covert Action. Was released by Microprose in 1990 on DOS, with an Amiga version following shortly after in 1991. Microprose were the masters of the simulator, putting you in the role of a character and living that life and using that equipment. Everything from their epic flight simulators to military action and submarine warfare, they always hit their mark dead on. Covert Action is no exception. As you can probably tell just from the name, it's a spy simulator, as you take on the role of Max Remington, or Maxine, as you attempt to stop various nefarious terrorist plots around the world. The game was designed by Sid Meier and Bruce Shelley. Both of them would work together many times, producing classics such as Civilization and Railroad Tycoon, to name a few. Covert is a game with a lot happening. It truly is a full-on spy simulator with a massive compilation of styles such as puzzle, adventure, and straight-up arcade-styled action, all wrapped up in a neat, almost open-ended random field that makes the game seem a lot like Sid's 1987 classic Pirates in its overall open-world style design. There are not many games really to compare it to. At the heart of the gameplay, it feels like Carmen Sandiego, following clues, cross-checking facts, pinpointing locations and bases, and flying out to said countries to continue your investigations. But it's also filled with fun James Bond styled arcade bits, where you can surveil houses to see who comes and goes, perform stealth missions, where you can bypass their security measures and creep around their house, rummaging for clues. You can even tail suspects in cars or bug apartments, decipher coded messages, and also stop in at various CIA bases across the globe to get updates on terrorist activities. And of course, talk to your members of your team and compile all the gathered intelligence to hopefully make a case for an arrest. The ultimate goal is to take down all 26 masterminds across the world, foil their plots before they actually happen. It all seems like a lot to take in at first, but it's actually pretty easy, with the ability as well to practice all the mini-games beforehand, which is highly recommended. The open, almost random nature of the game means that just like Pirates, it's endlessly enjoyable and is always surprising. The amount of detail and options you have feel very liberating, making the game feel extremely unrestricted in a sense. There's also multiple difficulty levels and different styles of investigations to tackle, from straight up espionage, terrorism, or international crime rings. There is just so much depth here, including finding moles in your own organization, car chases, shootouts, etc. It's still a game that has never really been replicated. The graphics are really fantastic and extremely varied, with easy to understand gameplay, although sound is very sparse in typical DOS style of this era. But the game is easily available now on Steam and GOG to play on modern PCs. It was a game that was received quite well in publications back then, but got pretty much forgotten in all the big releases that Microprose were putting out. But there's no time like the present to check out this awesome spy adventure for yourself.
Game over.
And thanks for joining me, Bastich B, at 64K. If you can like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.